Am I live? I think I am. Welcome to this episode of the Diaspora Lounge. We're talking about what happened with the artist Lande Ijoba, and social media has been agog with their marriage and the breakdown of their marriage. And a lot of people are talking about marrying single mothers, the risks, and that this should not be a surprise because he married a woman who had been married before and was a single mother. And it's been published now that she was having relationships, extramarital affairs outside of her marriage. I have with me in the studio two gentlemen, Shea and Tony, Mr. Tony Usidamen and Mr. Shea, both of whom are journalists. And we want to talk about this, how it affects our society, and how we can do better as a society. Let's even talk about the generally believed or touted statements, something like do not marry single mothers because they come with a lot of problems. We know that a lot of men talk about avoiding single mothers, and if a man is going to marry a single mother, I believe that a lot of the friends and family will be warning him. So let's see what we think about this. Let's dissect the issue. Guys, thank you for being with me. I'm going to hand over to you, Tony. You are controlling this session. Let's talk about this. Yes.
Okay, so welcome, Shaya. Welcome. I see we have some people joining us in the chat box. I see
Oh, really?
Healthy Steve. I see Faith Studios. Thank you for joining us.
Oh,
So
awesome.
let's go straight into the conversation. Maybe for the benefit of those who do not know, maybe to just give a background as to what we're discussing here today. I personally did not know these people, but because of social media and the fact that the news has been all over the place in the last few days, I am now aware of who they are. So, for context, Ijoba Lande is a skit maker married to some lady called Dara. And then on the other side, there's some other guy called Babati, who is a Yoruba actor. Is popular amongst people who watch Yoruba movies. And his former manager is a lady called Marigold. Now, Marigold and Dara have been friends. Dara, like I said, is the estranged wife of the skit maker called Ijoba Lande. Now, Dara had accompanied Mary Gold to see this Yoruba actor called Babati. And while they were there, they started the game Truth or Dare. And one thing led to another. And the Dara, who is married to the skit maker Ijoba Lande, ended up having sex with Babati, the actor. We don't know who broke the news, but when it came out, Babati initially denied, Dara initially denied, but then Babati made a U turn and came out to say that that did happen. I mean, the truth are there, and then sexual intimacy with somebody else's wife, but he was not aware that she was married because Mary Gold, who brought her to his house, did not introduce her as the wife of the skit maker. So that's the background to the story. As a result of this, and the fact that the lady in question, Dara, um, had been in a previous marriage and then was a single mother at the time that she got together with Babati. There are narratives or rhetorics going out there that this happened because she is a single mother and that any man who is getting together with a single mother for any serious relationship should prepare for the worst because this kind of things can happen. This is just for context. It is not like I agree with that kind of thinking. But yes, let's get right into it. Sheye, what is your take on this issue? Do you share the perspective of those who think her previous status as a single mother before she got together with Ijoba Lande might have affected the way things played out? Do you think single motherhood has this risk that some people are touting?
Okay. Good day, everyone, and welcome to Diaspora Lounge. Thank you, moderator, and then
Hi.
thank you, Uzo. I appreciate you guys. Okay, to start with, this is my pep talk. This is how I prepare myself to delve into this matter. Number one, the this issue at hand will just be like in a way of preparing to the main issue because we are not going to dwell on the subject, the people involved or the subjects involved. It's just a way of okay, gathering our thoughts and then to look at it in the larger scale. I mean, looking at it from the broader view. Now, to start with, the person in question happens to be my schoolmate, coursemate, classmate when I was in the university. You understand? And then we had our last reunion last year. Yeah, just past year. And happens to be the chairman of the reunion. So I had to contact him, like, okay, Babati, you come and do our MC. I told him, but then, we have a lot of people in our class. I can mention them, that we school together, they're into acting and everything. So anyway, we ended up picking like four people amongst us. Okay, you guys gonna anchor the day, and they did a very beautiful job. Babati couldn't come because he wasn't around. As we know, the wife is not even staying in Nigeria. The wife stays in UK. You understand? So he couldn't come. That's why on this very touchy topic and this touchy subject matter or the subjects, the people involved, I think I'm gonna be like, okay, been a bit tepid and then see how I can navigate around this sensitive topic and see how we can manage to bring out the best out of it. Now, to start with, like I said, Babati, not talking from the, I don't want to talk from the online thing. You understand? Social media perspective. I want to talk on one. You
Okay.
understand? We spent like 6 years together, so I can't
Okay.
say I don't know him. You
Okay.
get? So I know him very well, and it's a very wonderful person. He has been, in fact, I do not see him. If you look at Babati, people don't understand the part that he will have. I think he will do well. I prefer him as a comical character. He's into it, and when he's doing MC, he's superb. You understand? So he's a trained journalist. You get? He's not like every other artist that you see there. Most of if you can package the artist now, at least I can give it to you that more than half of them are not even educated. When I mean educated in quote now, they've not been to the four walls of tertiary education. I mean school, but he has done that. You get, and he did very well. So the only issue I have with him was that he did not manage the situation well. That's just my reservation in the whole saga. Because the first thing is to keep calm when there's crisis, and then you treat your mouth, you keep quiet first. He has denied it. He had to come around and like, okay, I've said it. I mean, even for him to have tendered the apology, that's a big plus on his side. So for that, he has done a good job. But I would have
Okay.
preferred him to have to keep quiet and then afterward, okay, I'm sorry. Then we'll move on from there. Social media is just a word. It's ephemeral. Is it just a matter of time. Something else will pop out, which will distract us, and then we'll move on. So,
Okay.
all right.
Thank you, Sheye. But you still
Yeah.
haven't answered the question I asked. We'll come back to you. Let's hear from Uzo.
Okay.
This rhetoric going around that being a man being with a single mother carries risks. Uzo, what do you think about this from your perspective as a woman? Do you think that somebody's status has anything to do with decisions like this? When I say status, I mean status as either a single mother or whatever. does it affect their decisions in situations like this? And do you think it had any play in, how things panned out between all of the people involved?
Right. Okay. First, I've been a bit distracted by what I'm seeing here because I'm seeing that the audio seems to be going ahead of what the video is displaying for the audience. So, but anyway, on that question, so I'm just saying this so that the audience can pardon us for that. I don't know where the glitch is coming from. Now, on that question, I think that I look forward to the day that we'll begin to understand that life and the world is empty. My understanding now of life is that it's empty, and we are the ones who take our ideas and bring them to play, make them reality in life, right? Without our ideas, a lot of the things that we do and believe in will not be. So that's why when we hear it said that we create our reality, even if I don't know it in any other aspects of life, I know it's for our relationships and the things that play out in our relationships, especially when it's not a one off thing, especially when it's something that continues and we are watching it and then we choose to remain or to stop that relationship. That's the one thing that I will say. Now, secondly, this talk about single mothers and the difficulty of having a relationship with a single mother and how single mothers are like this and are like that. I will say that a lot of us need to begin to understand that as human beings, we have the gift of observation. And this is what we should be doing. We should not be taking general rhetorics like that. I am not a single mother. I have never been a single mother. But I will sit here and say that that is a very unfair statement to be making for the world to be making about single mothers, because single mothers become single mothers for so many different reasons. People are living their lives differently. These are different individuals. So we need to take every case on in its peculiar context, right? Why is this person a single mother? How did she arrive there? Because some people arrive there, they are not promiscuous. There's nothing there. They are good people, right? But sometimes it's because they are so naive and something has happened. Sometimes it's because they have married the wrong man. They have married a man who shouldn't even be in a relationship with another person. And they find out that they cannot continue that life. And then marriage. And then they end up as single mothers. And then someone is going to turn around and place this burden on them, paints everybody with the same brush. I think it's unfair. It's unfair. And we're a little, and I am guilty of this as well. I'm guilty of this self-righteousness of us as human beings, right? The moment we come out and we just slam everybody because we want to sound self-righteous, and we give them names, we paint them as this and that, simply because we didn't fall into that thing, right? Or maybe because people that are close to us did not go through that. We've never sat down to think about what may have happened in their lives. We just want to quickly give that judgment so that we can look like, sanctimonious people. Because people who are shouting single mother this, single mother that, some of these men have sisters who are single mothers. And in the case of their sister, they know when their sister got into that situation because of things that were beyond her understanding at her phase in life. Let me just hold it there. I'll
Okay.
stop it there. Yeah.
No, I think, just like you pointed out, and Shea also implied, the fact that this is the social media narrative doesn't mean that we, as individuals, share that view. It is just like a way to start off the conversation, right? Because we live in this same society and we cannot close our eyes to the things that are happening. Because when we start to look at these issues, it is only then that we can bring out, what is wrong in them. We cannot deny that these narratives are going around. I think personally, I feel like for those who are looking at this whole issue only from the side of a single mother are being myopic. Because, first and foremost, it wasn't just the woman that was involved in this, there was also a man.
Oh.
The Babati in question is also a married man. Shaya just mentioned that his wife is probably in the UK. So, why are people harping on the fact that a single mother had done this? Did the single mother do this
With
with
another
her?
single mother? Was it
Did
two
she do
single
this with
mothers that were
herself?
involved in the act?
Wasn't it with the man? And this is why this narrative or this rhetoric that people are pushing is not only short sighted, I think it's also very, very dangerous and unfair to the women. Generally speaking, and Uzo, I think you laid the grounds to that. People become single mothers for different reasons. Sometimes it's because of naivety. Sometimes it's because of choices that people make. But then again, except for those who became single mothers by virtue of sperm banks or in vitro fertilization and all of that, most people who did became because some man was involved somewhere. So you cannot be talking about single mothers and then leave the men
Mhm.
out of the
And,
conversation. I see
and
Shaya laughing. Shaya, you would like to say something? Please go ahead. If you like to
you,
say
you,
something.
you know what you know what's funny? It's
What?
funny because everybody wants to be politically correct.
Like who?
Everybody wants to be politically correct. Everybody. Did you hear what I said? I didn't say some people. Everybody wants to be politically correct. And then once you do that, you will be in good book of everybody. All right. Oh, okay. He's not saying this against the party. Tick. He's not saying this against the chairman. Tick. He's not saying this against the executive. Tick. He's not. You understand? It's okay. If you want to come here on this platform and everybody wants to like, okay, let's go in the same direction. Let's look at this. Then I can put it to you, Tony, that whatever they
Yes.
have taught us in school is not valid here. If all of us want to come here on this platform, I begin to toe this line that you are trying to push, then whatever they've taught us in school is very wrong. How do I
No,
mean?
Shaya. No, Shaya. You
I'm
you have
coming.
you have
I'm
you
going to
have you
connect
have
it.
the opportunity to air your views about the
And that's
issue,
what
which
I'm
is
saying. I
why
want to
I
connect it.
handed over to you. Yes. So
What?
yes,
What?
you're free. If you think differently, you're free to air it.
No, what I'm
Yes.
saying, I'll connect it now. What am I trying to say? Look at it very well. You are saying a single mother thing that is AC generalization of facts. It could be AC in some aspects. That's what I'm pushing to you. Is there what do we call, okay, now let's start from this now. When we are in school, when we are to write our project, we are given a scope, right? You have a scope that you work with. You have a scope. You have your time bound. You have your resources. You have your means of getting such your raw material that you now
You
convert to
have your
information, your statistics. You
methodology. You
understand?
have yeah.
All for your thesis before you now reach your conclusion. You understand? What does that mean? If I'm doing a thesis now, if I'm writing a thesis on, let us say, the impact of television, you understand? The impact of television, or violence on television on the youth in Lagos Island, for instance. After writing down my thesis, I think I have right to say that television or violence being portrayed on television has a way of affecting the youth. And somebody will now tell me that, oh, it's because of the lens that you are using to look at it. It's because of the periscope, because your scope, it does not pass the scope. That's what I'm saying. For what we have been taught, you have every right. After making sure that your research is empirical. Empirical means tested proof.
Sheye,
That you
Sheye,
are
I'm
taking it
sorry.
to one
I have
angle.
to stop you
I'm
here,
coming.
Sheye.
You are taking it to
I
one
want you to
angle.
go back. Come back to
But,
the conversation,
okay,
right?
now this is what I'm saying.
This
If
background that
people,
you created,
okay,
what do
if
you think
people,
about this? Do you
okay,
agree
all right.
about it?
Thank
Do
you
you
for
think
that.
the people that are
I'm
pushing
going
that
now.
narrative are right.
No, let me now answer you.
That's true. You never responded to that.
Like I said, let me now answer you, please. Muzo, you're not the moderator tonight. Oh. Make I hear
No,
from the
I
moderator.
am not. Yes.
So now, Tony, this is what I'm saying. If some people in some set or some subset or whatever are saying and they have reached their conclusion, I think the question we should ask ourselves, is there epidemic? Is there single mother epidemic in the larger society? That's number one. Number two, if yes, how did we get to where we are? If we are yet to address that, then we do not have right to now discuss what others, the conclusion that they have reached.
Hmm.
So let me just drop it for now.
Yes, so but you still haven't answered. What is your personal view of this? Do you think there is a single mother epidemic? I have my reservation with that
Okay,
coinage.
okay. If you want to put
Since
that
you
to
brought
me,
it up,
yes,
do you
there's an
there is
epidemic. There's a single mother epidemic.
Oh,
For
that's
my
a
own
different question.
no,
standpoint.
also it's related. It's related to the
Yeah,
topic
it is. It is. I know.
because it is part of the conversation, right? So
Right.
yes, please, Shaya, go ahead and let us know why you think. In fact, you need to even define what a single mother epidemic is because this is a strange coinage for me. So for
Okay.
me and for our audience, please define what you mean by single mother
Okay,
epidemic.
I mean,
Yes.
like there's a proliferation of single mother in our society. Now, how do I mean? Personally, I've met a lot of women that tell you, I just want to be single mother. I don't want to get married. Personal experience. Something must have led them to reach that verdict or that conclusion or
Hmm.
that point of view that this is what I want for my life. Such things, they are foreign to us. I mean, you know how we are in this part of the world when it comes to cultural thing. You understand? Are you going to tell your parents, I just want to have kids, I don't want a husband? Or a man telling me that I just want to be single father? It's as common as it can be in this part of the world now. I'm sure you know that. So the question is, what is really triggering those things? So you are now asking me if we have such, and I'm putting into it that my own conclusion or my own cocoon world, in my own experience, I believe we have that.
You have an
You
epidemic.
understand? And then I have heard very few of them admitting that they play they play huge role in the this malady. Some of them will admit, like, oh, they made a mistake, you know. Some will not. You get what I'm saying? Some will not. But what I'm saying is that for this person that is wounded, for instance, person that is wounded, maybe male or female, they need to be healed before venturing into another thing. Do you get what I'm saying, trying to say? So if we
Yes.
don't accept that there's a problem, then how do we address the problem? So my
So
own
so
conscious, I want to consciously put it to the house that we have a problem at hand. We must bring the problem to the front burner. Then we'll now look at the problem so that we can prefer solution to the problem. So I believe we have a
thank you.
problem in our
Thank
hands.
you. Thank you very much, Shaya, for explaining what you mean. Uzo, do you want to say something about this?
Yes, on that one, I will agree with Mr. Shea. I think in the beginning, when he started talking, he said something about being politically correct, that people are trying to be politically correct. From his explanation, perhaps what he's trying to say is that we are ignoring um, the elephant in the room. So that, and if we do that, then we won't tackle what he believes is an issue. So on that one, I will agree with him because I observe as well that we are having a lot more single mothers and a lot more people are feeling bolder to come out to be single mothers. Is it an epidemic? When you say epidemic, it sounds like something that is to be discouraged. And I will agree with that. I will agree with that. Not um, because in total, every time we see a single mother, something has gone wrong. I know that there are circumstances where people become single mothers, even those like you mentioned, those who go to a sperm bank, because sometimes if a woman has reached a certain, she's seeing that she's not getting married and she wants to have children, she will go and become a single mother by having a process, going through a process and then becoming a single mother. So then let's remember that we have different categories. Even in the past, if a woman was going to do that, even if she wasn't doing it because she was sleeping with different men, the society will still frown on that. And even today, some people will still frown on that. I don't see a problem with that if the woman is capable of providing that child with the necessities to have a healthy mindset, having come from a single mother home, because that child is going to face issues when they get out in the world, when they are the unusual one. We need to know that there are things that the child needs to have in place to be able to have a healthy mindset to go into a healthy adult. So for those ones, I make exception. Now remember that there are those as well, as we mentioned, who uh, get labeled as wayward women, even in the Bible. That's where I like when you mentioned that a man was in these single mothers. They don't like, even if someone is married and she turns out to be promiscuous and she has relationships with other men, and then people start talking fingers at her. Don't forget, she didn't have those relationships with other single women. She had a relationship with men. And right here, Shaya was saying the way that he sounded about this person, the Babati, I don't know if it's because he knows the person personally and he knows that this person is ordinarily a good person, right? But who has ended up in this kind of standard thing. It seems to me as if he hasn't really done anything bad. Or he should have just kept quiet about it, right? But if you're saying you should keep quiet about it, that means you're admitting that he's done something wrong, right? Because he's married and his wife did not sign with him unless they did. Maybe they, in their privacy, maybe they planned that it's okay, we're having an open marriage, right? But we don't know that. And because for women, not every woman has a problem with the man sleeping with other people. Some people are okay with it. They say, after all, I bear his name. I can't use my own standards I can't project my own standards onto other
Okay,
people,
no,
right?
no, no. I think you missed that part. What I was trying to say is that I was talking from the professional angle. You understand? When there's crisis, you don't work under duress, you don't work
Okay.
under emotion.
Okay.
You just need to allow the trained person. Take for instance now, a doctor cannot treat a sick child, most especially in a case of emergency. You rather tell another colleague of his to handle that child. That's what I'm saying. When he knew that he found himself in a mess, he has his own manager, because the last time we spoke to him, we spoke with the manager too. He has his manager that manages whatever comes to like his image. You understand? He should have allowed that person to be in charge. You know, that person will have done a better job instead of him denying and
Well,
later accepting
yes.
and now apologizing.
Okay.
You understand? That's
Okay,
just,
Sheye. Sheye,
yeah.
the purpose of this conversation is not to dwell on the PR
Yeah, no, no. I
side of
only
things
she
and
mentioned it.
what
That's what I'm saying.
effective.
Okay,
Yes. So the reason we started off discussing single motherhood is because of the narrative being pushed, right?
okay.
But my question still remains. My question still
Is that for me? Is
remains.
a question for me?
Of all that there is to dissect about this issue, I did give a background at the start. Why is the concern of people the single motherhood part of it
Okay,
when this
okay,
matter also involved a married man?
okay.
This action did
All
not
right.
happen
Should
with
I? Should I? Should,
just it happened with a
Uh,
married. So why is the meat of the
Only
conversation
about that.
around single motherhood?
okay,
Shaya, that's what I want to
Before
know.
we
okay.
do
All
that,
right.
before we do that, can we, because we're talking about the Lande Ijoba and his situation, can we talk about we're going to come back to the single mother issue because that's really the crux of our conversation. We're only using his name and what has happened to have this conversation, right? So therefore, can we give honor to whom it's due, right? Like if we're going to talk about that relationship, why don't we can we just talk about the fact that he chose this woman knowing that this is a single woman, and other people were saying don't a single mother, don't do this, don't do this, don't, and he went ahead and all the signs. Because for me it's always important for us to talk about the things that will help us to make better choices, right? I'm saying, for instance, he chose this woman and he did so much for her. Shaya talked about him giving her 3 million every month, right? So he kept on working for this woman's affection. He was working for this woman's affection. Tony, can we go in that direction for a while before we come back?
No,
I'm really not comfortable. I'm really not comfortable going in that
Okay.
direction because it stands against what I believe
Okay.
in. And the reason I'm saying it is this: we're supposed to be dissecting this issue. The aim, I believe, of this conversation is to see how we can build healthier relationships, healthier
Mhm.
marriages. And we're using this incident as, you know, a starting point to talk about all of the issues that are
Okay.
involved. We are dissecting it as it were, and there are several layers, several aspects to dissect. And I wouldn't just want to focus on one small aspect of the woman because we're talking about choosing the right woman and why there's a risk in single motherhood. But a man was also involved in this. Why are we downplaying the role of the man who was by? Why are we not talking about choosing the right man?
all right.
Why are we talking about the dangers of being with a single mother and we're not looking at the other way? Because it's the same. It's the same. That's how I see it. So I have a problem with just singling out and making it. Shaya said before, single mother epidemic. And I'm wondering, there are several aspects to this issue to dissect. Why are we focusing on just the part
Can
of the
you
woman?
can you
How
can you
about the
repeat
man?
your question again before she introduced that?
My question is, my question is, right? This issue involves several people. On
Okay,
one side, there's the Dara, who is a married woman married to Lande, and then there is the Babati, who is married to, whoever it is that he's married to. You mentioned that you know him and his wife is in the UK. Now I am asking, in the conversations around these issues all over the social media, one of the ones that people have been talking about more is the fact that this woman is a single mother and how that might have played a role in her decision to be involved with this man in the way that she did. Because the question people are saying is, how would a married woman be playing truth or dare? But I think we can also reverse that question and say, why is a married man playing truth or dare? Why are we not talking about that? Why are we only
Because it
focusing
doesn't
on
matter.
the female side of
Does that mean
things?
it doesn't matter? Is it?
Exactly. Does that mean it doesn't matter? Does that mean it's okay for the men to do these things? And then when the women do
Yeah.
it, it's a
Because maybe
problem.
there's something
When
we
the
need to
women do
find
it, we
out.
talk about epidemics. When the men do it, it's normal. Why should we accept that as normal? That's my question.
Hmm.
all right. Is that a question?
Yes, it
That's
is
for
a
me or for
question.
It
Why are
Sheye?
we
sounded like
not
a
talking
submission
about
to me. It
the
sounded like
man's
a
part?
what?
It's a question.
A question. Why are we not talking about the man's
Okay,
role in
all
this? Why
right.
are we just talking about the
Now,
woman?
seriously, like I've said before, I'm still going to reiterate and then
Or is it because it's a man's world? Is this what this is about?
no, no. Let me. Should we look at this case study sternly? Should we
Yes.
truly
Go ahead.
dissect this case study? All right. Somebody raised the dust. It was Lande that raised the dust. I'm sure you know that.
Okay.
Hello? He raised the
Yes,
dust,
I'm with you.
accusing Babati of messing with his wife.
Oh.
Right. And the Babati felt like he doesn't even know his wife. You understand? He denied that. Okay? Now, if you observe how the whatever played out, it was a case of two women going in to go and meet a man. All right? Married man for that matter. And it was their suggestion. They suggested the game, number one. At some point, while they were at it, one of the ladies stripped herself completely naked while they were playing the game. In fact, I even heard that one of the lady was saying, you understand, was even making jest of the guy's private that can't he perform? You understand? That's what I'm saying. If we want to look at the core message, in fact, when people are throwing stones, they are apt and spot on. But if you are not addressing this matter alone, then we can always say that, okay, it has become a norm that anytime there is wahala, people will tend to focus on the ladies or the women, leaving the men. Yes, that's always been, even in the Bible days, you understand, that's always been the normal culture and the pattern. It's been a pattern all this while. So, but I'm saying in this particular case, it's quite different. The gentleman was in his
How?
home. Let me put it to you again. The
So
gentleman
are you
was in.
saying? Are you saying? Yeah,
Oh, hold
are
on
you
now. Let me
telling
give it to
me
you. You must have missed that part.
because he was in home?
What?
Because he was in his home,
Not
did they
that.
force him
Listen
to
up.
participate in the game?
Hold on now. He was in his home. One person told
Yes.
him, I'm coming to your house. He didn't tell him, I'm bringing a person to your house. All right? They went there. It was this lady that suggested that they should drink. I'm coming. And now, let me tell you
Come
so.
on,
If
Shay.
you
You
have,
are
no,
making
hold
the
on
man
now.
seem like a baby,
Hold on.
like somebody that doesn't have
Hold on.
will,
Allow me now so that I will
cannot
connect it. You
say
will
no.
get it now.
Baby.
I am not giving you what I know. I'm giving you numerous accounts. When I'm talking of numerous accounts, people that have spoken about this lady, they were more than 20. That it was even she that would make advance towards male. And she didn't deny
And
it.
is he a weakling?
What?
Can't he say no?
What did you say?
Can't he say no? Is he a
We are not,
child?
wait. I'm talking of a pattern. We are not talking of a person here. I'm talking of a pattern. You don't expect such a pattern from a married woman. I'm talking of a
And
pattern.
it's okay for a
Is
married
it
man
okay
to
for
be
a
That
playing
married
is not
man?
what
football
I'm
there?
saying. Did I say that? Don't imply that. No.
No, you are trying to minimize the part of the man,
No, I
and I
am
don't understand why.
waiting.
Maybe because they're
All right.
friends.
Not that's not it. We are not discussing Tunde Bernard, though. We are not discussing Tunde Bernard for your information. We were classmates. I never say he was my friend.
Oh, okay, okay.
So get it right. Don't mix it up. But
Maybe
what I'm
because you're a
saying,
man. Maybe because you're a man, then you don't
that's
want to
not
send
it.
it.
Is Tony Bobrisky? Eh? I don't get it.
No,
No,
but
what I'm saying is this. I'm saying, see, Tony, as much as I want to accommodate your line of thought, you are spot on, yes. Who's line of thought? Spot on, yes. That in all cases, or most cases, people tend to focus on the lady, leaving the man out of the equation. But I am saying this particular case, don't bring any residual feelings. Let's look at this case critically.
okay,
In
go ahead.
fact, let me tell you something. The truth of the matter, let me explain some things to you. If you don't want to accept this now, it shows that you are biased. A woman can decide to like, okay, I lost my husband, I won't get married till she die. You know it's possible.
What I don't
I'm
understand
asking
what
you.
you're
Yes, it is possible.
okay.
Yes, you
It is
know that,
possible. A
right?
man can do it too.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Now let me explain things to most. If a man is thinking, if he's having issues, he may want to have sex just to take his mind off that issue. It
Tony, can
doesn't
I
work with a woman.
okay, can
Oh,
I say
you still
something?
want to break me? You're going
Have
to
you
Yes.
break
ever
my
seen a woman
trajectory.
have you ever heard a woman say that to you? Have you ever heard a woman
I'm
say
not
that?
talking of woman. That what? That what?
You said it
Now
doesn't.
what?
That doesn't happen with women. You just said it doesn't happen with women. That if a man is thinking and he's under pressure for something,
No, no,
that's
no.
what you
That
said.
wasn't what I said. Now
So what did you say?
allow. God. What I'm trying to say is this. Let me let me
Shay,
come.
you're going to box yourself into a very tight spot because you know that there's a woman
No,
sitting here. I
see,
mean,
you are not. I won't allow you to doctor my opinion, and I will not allow that. I won't take that. What I'm trying to tell you is this: if you are going to talk on the being generic, I will take that. You understand what I'm saying? You can be generic about issues. All right, this issue we want to talk about, being generic on issue, I will take it. But on this particular case, do you know that? Okay, now let me ask you this. Do you know this site that talks about the ills, goods, and cafes of the society? This clandestine site. I know you know that. Tony, you know that site now.
Gist
what
lover.
I don't
side?
want to mention it
Gist
here. This
lover.
lover. Do you know
Oh,
that
okay.
this lover had complained and talked about that girl numerous times before this happening?
It
Yeah, but
does
she's a
it,
girl.
it
She's not
it really
women.
doesn't
She's a girl. She's
matter.
not representative of all
It
the single
really
women.
doesn't matter.
What? What?
Because of
We are
her
talking
now, they're
about this.
talking about
We're
single
talking
women.
about this case.
No, wait now. We are talking about this case. So we are not talking about women. No, I am talking
No,
about this case. That was why I started. Like, are we going to talk about this case?
okay.
It is from this case that we cannot take it to, understand. This case is on the front burner. That's what I'm saying. Did you get my drift?
Okay.
Is I
I
think
get your
this.
drift,
I think
even though
there's this gap between us. I think you must have missed out on the juicy part of this story online.
no, I am not. That's the difference. I'm not interested in the juicy
See,
part. I'm
good.
interested in
Now let me tell you this.
analyzing the
When we started this discussion, I
dissecting
said I am
the
not always.
all aspects of the issue,
What did you
not
say?
just one aspect. But you seem to be focusing on just one aspect of this issue
Okay.
when there are several aspects to it, and that's I'm trying to understand why. Why is the lady's part more
That is what I'm
important
saying.
than
Okay, good. Let me answer
this
you.
issue?
I am saying the ladies' part has been a pattern. There has been premises. People are not hasty in their conclusion. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay.
All right. The young man
Yes.
counted 21. The young man counted 21. So when people reach their conclusion, you can't blame them at all. In this case, so I don't know about other cases, but this particular case, this particular subject matter, this particular subjects, I mean the trial, the
Yeah.
three people involved, you can never blame people that you
Okay.
can't tell me.
Let's bring Uzo in now. Uzo, you've been smiling. What's going on in your mind?
Okay.
Please share with
The
us.
reason I'm smiling is that for me, what I understand from what I see with everything that happens around us is we don't want to face the truth. The truth about life is that everybody matters. Everybody matters. Both see what we're doing is we spend a lot of time blaming men. Men do this, men do this, men do this. Uh, women do this, women do this, women do this. Uh, if a man and a woman do something, we're going to all sit down and stone the woman. Right from the days of what was written in the Bible, we're going to stone that woman. And the man that she did it with will be sitting there and nobody's going to think about him. And they say, doesn't she know she's a woman? Even when we're bringing up children, they say, don't you know you're a girl? If we want to be honest with ourselves, every human being deserves, it's just like even down to parent and child. Every human being deserves their dignity and respect. The moment that you put some people aside and make them, you are special, you can do what you want to do. This person is under you, is below you. So therefore, when we are judging a matter, even though you have done something wrong, we're going to lay more blame on this person because this is a person on whom the onus hangs. So behave properly. This is what is messing up. This is what is messing us up. This is what is messing us up. Because how that's really what I would like us to hone
No,
in
this
on.
is generic now. Whatever you are saying is quite generic.
I would like us to hone in on these points in our conversations.
Please,
Let's not,
Tony,
because if we keep on talking the way we talk and we talk like this, we keep on
Tony,
helping to
Tony,
push
I have
that
a question to ask you.
Yes.
I have a question to
Okay,
ask you.
Uzo, please let's
And,
take
and then
question.
Uzo,
Yes.
please, for the sake of this intellectual discourse, anytime that we have a topical issue and we have a case to back it up, you understand? Anytime we have topical issue or topical subject, whatever we want to talk about, and we have a case to back it up, please let's endeavor to dissect that case, regardless of our interest or not. I don't like gossip, online gossip. I don't even waste my time with it. I know the things I read online. All those whatever, it has never interested, it has never interested me. But the truth is, I do take my time. Now we want to talk about this. You have these names popping up. Because of that, I have to like, okay, now I am telling you, if you have listened to this lady's submission, you will notice that she was never remorseful. She was arrogant about it. She was cocky about it. Perhaps you will not be saying what you are saying now. I,
Okay,
I
Oh,
am
let's
saying
take it
you
back a
don't
bit.
get that from a married woman. She was granting interview.
Sheye,
Yes, sir.
Sheye, you shouldn't be getting that from a married man too. And I will tell you why.
See,
You talked
you
about
are very
okay.
spot on.
Yes, Sheye, please
Yes,
hold on. Can
you
you
are very
hold on?
correct.
Can you
But the
hold
married
on?
man has since
Can you hold on?
apologized.
Let me ask a question.
Okay,
Let me ask a question.
okay,
And this is really not about what has happened
okay,
after.
okay,
Everything that happened after, as far as I'm concerned, is PR. And we're not here to talk PR.
okay,
We're here to talk about relationships
okay.
and why we're having the problems that we have in relationships and how we can build healthier relationships. You mentioned something interesting, which is dissecting the issue as it is and observing stuff. From what I have observed in this case, a married man, a married woman, it doesn't matter who went to who, they participated, they are adults. Nobody was forced to participate. Both the men and the women participated in a game called Truth or Dare, which eventually led to sex. Now, what I see is that, and I think it's not just for them, but a trend in a lot of marriages that we don't like to talk about is the issue of sex and how the flames, of sex in many marriages are dead. If you say you don't want to talk about, what they are saying online and all of that. If you I listened to an audio, the interview between the lady Dara, her friend Marigold, and some journalist who was asking them questions. And part of the things that
No,
came
no, no.
up
A
was
blogger,
that
a blogger. Was it the one of the
yes,
blogger?
okay. Blogger. Part of the things that came up was the issue of not having sex
Okay.
with their husbands. This person not having sex with their wife, this person. So sex is a major issue in marriage. What is it? My question, Shaya, let me land. And this is for the men because a man was involved as much as a woman was
Is your
involved.
question that
What
are you
is it that
not? Do you want to direct your question to me?
so it's a general question
Okay.
for all of
All
us.
right.
What is it that drives people in committed relationships to seek for pleasure
outside.
and fulfillment of sex outside of their relationship? What drives them? And how can we address this issue so that even in committed relationships, people can have enjoyable sex, self-respect, trust in relations. So,
Nice.
two questions now.
Nice.
What drives people in committed relations to seek thrills? Because this is what I think both the Babati, who has a wife in the UK or wherever she is, and the Dara, who has a husband, they were seeking sexual thrill. They were seeking thrill. What drives people in committed relationship to go outside to seek these thrills, and how can we address it? Are we lying to ourselves about something?
Mm-hmm.
Let's dissect this issue. I don't know anyone. Uzo, Sheye, it's open. You can
Awesome.
air your views about this.
Awesome, Tony. I appreciate I really like the angle from which you've brought it, because this is what we're actually avoiding. This is what we're ignoring, whether ignoring or avoiding. Why does this thing happen? Why does it happen over and over and over? Because you'll also hear that the woman has brought other men's children back to her husband. And you will hear that after a man died, a wife and children popped up from somewhere that nobody ever knew about. Why are we doing that? What it means, it looks like, is that we want to have something, but we don't want to own up to having that thing, right? So then we're doing everything we're doing is we're hiding and doing things. And when we're doing that, we're complicating things, we're complicating lives, we're complicating our lives. I don't know why I would do that, really, why I would complicate my life like that, because it means that you'll be living a double life. Today, if as a married man or a married woman, I decide that I want something different, I think the best thing for me to do is to tell the person that I am with, I want something different, right? But we have a society that says, okay, this is how we are going to do things. And then I am going to now be bending myself to pretend that I am doing what they've said that we should do. When I know that I don't even have the capability. And then tomorrow, if people discover that I'm doing something different, everybody starts coming, trying to kill me, right? So what should we do? Should I take the I become a bad person because I am pretending to do something that I am not able to do, right? Yet if I want to do it, you call me a bad person. So I think at the end of the day, what we're doing, and we pretend or we say that we are worshiping a creator. Whatever we're doing in secret, our creator already knows about it. So if I am not going to be bold enough to decide that I'm going to declare and do that thing, it means that it is you, Tony, and it is you, Shaya, that I am worshiping. That's what, to me, that is, it is you people that I'm worshiping, because it is your validation of me that is more important to me than the validation of the one who already even knows. So at the end of the day, that's why I keep saying that everybody around is idol worshiping, and we're pretending that we're worshiping a creator, right? So therefore we all lose the license to open our mouths to call anybody anything and to say that anybody is doing anything, unless you have become a person who is bold enough to 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 be who you are. Then you do not have the
Mm.
license, you don't have the license to call anybody at any time out for anything. When you
Uzo,
Yeah.
sorry, Uzo. Just to help our conversation, I want to ask you a
Yeah.
question. This same question, but reframe it to you as a woman. What do you think? And Shaya just said there's a pattern with this woman. We'll come to the man, but we're talking about the woman now. As a woman, what do you think? And I know you've done work with women, counseling and talks about building relationships. What do you think drives a woman in a committed relationship, in this case, a marriage, to seek thrills outside? What do you think from your experience, what you've heard, what you've seen? What might have driven this lady, and using her, just as a picture of the society, what drives a woman to go outside to seek thrills? And let's be very honest
Mm.
about this.
I would say that there are several things there could be, right? And I can list a few. And one of them is that the woman does not feel that that physical thrill or attraction for her husband is one, right? Or he is not satisfying her, which those two come together, right? Or she needs, it's still the same thing, she needs more than he's able to give, so she needs extra, so it's still, she's not satisfied with this one. uh, and some women may really really like sex so much that one person, they believe that one person is not enough for them, so that no matter what the man does, she's always looking for more. She's always looking for more. So it all boils down to this man does not satisfy her. So she needs something extra, right? And then if we now want to narrow it down, we can say that she may not have any attraction for that man for several so many reasons. Maybe because of the way he treats her. So she may lose attraction. She may not even have confidence in front of him, with him, maybe because she doesn't feel that he values her. So then, if it affects her self esteem and self confidence, she may not be able to interact with him in that way. So she may seek it somewhere else, right? She may be a thrill seeker. She may be someone who just wants, who thinks it's a thrill to just do this, and so she may be doing that. She may be wanting to make a name for herself as someone who I play, I do everything, So she just goes out there. So many things, so many things.
Thank
She
you,
may even
Uzo.
have,
I
she
want
may
to.
even, a woman may even have married as a virgin. That's why I laugh when people say that, oh, you need to marry a virgin because that's the only way you're going to be sure. Because I can tell you that a woman may be a virgin, and that's the very reason why she will go out when you marry her because she's now seeking.
That's
Yeah.
a very interesting angle. But let's bring it to Shea. This same question, Shea. Um, I know
And I want to take a real
we're talking
check on that.
why.
I'm not an expert in that field.
Okay, that's
Why would a
I
man then?
respect your I respect your rights not to answer. But I think as a man myself, um, speaking about this issue of what makes people to go out of their committed relationships outside, I think I agree with the things Uzo said for a woman, and I think most of those things also apply to men as well. Either the fact that you are not sexually compatible with the person that you are with, in which sense, no matter what they do, you're never satisfied or they're never enough. There may also be other issues outside of sex itself, because everything in the marriage that keeps the flames of passion going happens even before you get in the bedroom. So there might be other issues around how both parties feel valued and uh, how they are treated in the relationship. So for a woman, from my experience, for a woman, women are very emotional people. And before a woman, most women, before they get, intimate with a man, they want to feel some kind of connection with the man. I'm not saying all women, but for a lot of women, they want to feel some kind of connection.
You are
So
living,
if a man,
you are living
if a
under the rocks.
no, I'm not
You
saying,
are living in
I
Rock
retrace
City.
that. I'm not saying for everyone, right? I'm not saying for everyone, right? But for a lot of
Times have
women,
changed, my
they want
brother.
to feel
Times have
something.
changed.
Yes, I know. And it's very important for you to bring it up. We'll talk about that, right? But I'm just trying to show certain differences, no matter how little, between men and women. You see, for us men, it's enough for a woman to strip naked, like your friend, and then you can lose self-control. I'm not excusing us men. I'm just saying that we are physical beings, right? What we see a woman with BBL, we see a woman with. Can you hear me? Can you hear me,
Yeah, I
Uzo?
can hear you perfectly.
Okay, Shaya. It seems like the problem
Frankly,
is with
frankly,
your audio.
frankly,
Yes. So the difference I was trying to make is that for women, for men, we are mostly physical beings, right? You don't have to be emotionally
You can't
invested.
hear?
You do not have to be emotionally invested. Shaya, you can't hear.
Yeah, can you hear?
Uzo, can
I
you
can
hear
hear
me?
you.
Yes. So I think Shaya, it's a problem with your network
Shaya can't
connection.
hear.
It's your network. I think it's Shaya's network if he can't hear.
Can you hear now?
Shaya, can you hear now?
frankly, yeah, yeah.
Okay, I think it's a problem with your
Uh,
connection because Uzo
can
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 hear
you
me.
hear me? Can you hear
Yeah.
me?
I can hear you. I can
Okay.
hear you.
I may not be able to predict the network. I may not be able because it's kind of
Yes.
crazy here. But I have one point
Okay.
to just put it out there. Now, we may not be able to encapsulate the whole problem on this seat. But
Yeah.
one thing is certain that I know of that I may not want to, like most of those single women, you understand, single mothers in quotes now. I want to come from that angle. Most of them may not necessarily be able to marry their second or third husband if they don't have kids. Did you get my drift now? They have
I,
children, they have perhaps bills to pay, or they feel they are disadvantaged. So anybody that comes their way, they're like, okay, let me settle for such. Perhaps maybe it's a means of making
exactly.
ends meet, or
Exactly.
you don't understand, just to fit in. I don't know, but most times go and check. You just check that okay, this dude pulling with this woman. Ordinarily, if this woman has not given rise to kids or given rise at all, would this woman settle for this
That's
man?
a beautiful
The answer
point
is
that
right before your
brought up.
eyes. Most times, no. And that's where the problem lies.
Mm.
Okay, they are looking for accommodation. She doesn't have any. She now find a man with accommodation. I'm coming. I know you are taking it. I'm coming. I want you to listen. I am using my own word. You understand? It may be different from your word, but I'm saying now she's looking for accommodation. She's having issue with her kids. The landlord wants to eject her, and the man that is disturbing her, okay, that one has whatever. By the time she packs in her, the problem has been solved. You understand? The problem, it was immediate problem that's covering our eyes. Provided that problem has been solved, you understand? It is that time she can now like, okay, I don't think I want this big tummy man
Good.
as my
Good.
guy. Or if I want to manage him, maybe that six pack that has been my choice. I will have to have that one by the side. It is part of the problem. It's part of what is
Yeah.
common. I'm
This
not
is a very
saying, you
beautiful
understand, I'm
point.
not saying it is all. Or it is, what did he say?
I said it's a very beautiful point. I was thinking about that. After you've spoken, I'd like to talk about it, Tony, if I can, when he's done.
Okay.
Yes.
So I think the network is getting better. But that's just my what I have to say concerning that. Because if everybody is coming from this, I am saying, like I've mentioned two things. People are wounded, either single mother or single father. They are wounded. They need help first. That's
Yes,
number one. Number two, sometimes
yes,
they just settle for less for the time being. You understand? They just settle for less. Look at the Baba landlord that has all his kids outside the maybe done with university and everything. Now said to like, okay, one small chick. Like, okay, she's in there, she does not even have any hope. You understand? You just got okay, yeah, Baba landlord kekere. And that small chick now will find himself with maybe the
tenant.
gate man or the bachelor in that compound. You understand? Or the cleaner. So you know that the interest has not been there. It's just like inverted pyramid of Abraham Maslow. You remember now?
Yeah.
Food comes first,
Yes.
physiological needs. You understand? That's just it.
Yes. All right. Thank you, Shay. Uzo, you wanted to
Yes,
say
that's a
something about
very,
that.
very, very cogent point. So now
What
when
did you
we
say,
look at,
Udo? What
I
did you
said it's a
say?
very, very cogent point. So when we look at it
Can
now,
I hear that again, please?
it's a
Can I hear that? I didn't hear that.
oh, he's being funny.
Can you repeat it, please?
He's,
I said
Sorry, can you
he
record
heard
that
I,
part?
he heard
We
you.
need to extract
I said
this
okay,
excerpt.
let me say it again. I said that Ihe Shayeku no point to do very, very sure you want to hear, right?
God understand that anyway.
No, do you know why I love that? Why I love that is a lot of the time because we blame we blame a woman who in these circumstances decides to marry a man like this, and we say she married him because she wanted to use him for this. But remember that you play a role in that, right? So this is what I love. That's why I said when people are clapping in the churches, I'm like, did you people even take the time to think whether these people made the right choice by choosing each other. So we should also remember the woman is not to blame alone in these circumstances. Because right now I'll tell you that as I am here, people bring people from, let's say, from home, and the person gets here, right? They get married, then the person's attitude is showing that they're not interested in this person who brought them over here. And the person is complaining. Or let me even go all the way back to when I was a young girl. There was a guy who came and told my family that he wanted to marry me, right? And then this guy, I didn't have any interest in him at all. Didn't have any interest. And he started to complain one day when he came to our place. Also doesn't even behave like someone that someone is trying to marry. She's never called me. She's never visited me. She's never asked of me. And I'm like, this is ridiculous because you have the interest, and I have shown in everything that I've done. You have seen it that I have no interest, right? You have no right to be making these complaints. The person who brings someone over here and the person comes and the person isn't treating them like they care about them, you can, it is obvious the person just came here because they need something from you. They needed to have Canadian documents or something. You cannot be complaining. Just use your tongue to count your teeth. Why is this person here? In fact, in any relationship where you are suffering, right? Where you're suffering and someone is showing, you say, no, after everything I did for her, I was giving her this amount, I built this house for her, I did this for her. No, 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 no. When you are doing all those things, the reason you're doing all those things is because you are already seeing. They didn't do anything for you to be loving them. So why do you feel that you need to be doing all these things to win their love? Because you already know that you don't have their love. You already know it. So let's begin to take responsibility ourselves. Once you see those signs, caution yourself. This person is not here for me. If the person was here for me, they will be showing it to me. So it's already obvious. So can we do that? When a man is, this is one of the things that was breaking
So
my heart when this guy was telling
it's
this story. When Lande's story
in,
was
con-
like,
in
I was,
consonance with your rhetoric. I think in this case study that we discussed, that we have thoroughly dealt with, the guy paying that lady such amount every month can only mean he's trying, or he was trying to buy her. That's
so we
number
have hit
one.
the nail on the
And
head. We have hit the nail on
yes,
the
that's
head.
number one. Number two, did you know that, okay, after two kids, after two children, you decide, okay, I want to get married to you, and you have caught her. I think he caught her with, oh, okay, he mentioned 21 guys.
Are you calling about the program?
That's on the high side.
Are you calling into the program?
21. What did you say?
Somebody is calling into the program.
What's the okay? Somebody's calling.
Okay.
You. It is you I'm talking to.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking to some other person. Give me the topic you will be close.
Oh, you're just calling in out of, okay. So somebody's wife, somebody married a single mom, a single mother,
Okay.
and she was found to have been having extramarital affairs, and everybody is talking about don't marry single mothers, and that is what we're dissecting.
Okay. So you want my contribution, right?
You called. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes.
You want my contribution, eh? Okay. Well, they hook me on now. Let me start. Let me see. Let me see what I want.
Okay, you are there. They can hear you. You can hear him, right?
Okay. First and foremost, I think the most important thing for us to realize is that every single mother has a reason why she has become a single mother. And again, one's development has a way it affects people. Now, some people became single mothers out of the fact that they had pure attitudinal problems from their families. Most times, like the evil people will say, "Itching why?" And then you want to get married, look at the mother. You know, so a whole lot of women, if I have to say this, have been so much influenced by their mothers. So that influence is carried on to what they see in the regular or family system. So when a man approaches a woman and then begins to have a relationship with that woman, there's a tendency of carrying over some of these things that they picked from their mothers, to the current relationship. So if I have to say it this way, I could be blunt. If you just be very careful with single mothers because you know the baggage they're coming with. I have to put it this way bluntly, and I have to say it. I've had the experience, and I know how it works. Most times they tend to love their children more than their companion. Then there's this thing about struggling to impress their children over their companions. So it's a terrible situation, and the man begins to see himself as somebody who has lost it all.
Can I ask you something? Can I ask
Go
you
on.
something?
Go on.
Because just before you called, we were trying to say that we can prevent these things by taking responsibility, right? When if as a man I get entangled with a woman like this, I need to also be conscious of the fact that maybe she's just trying to get a covering. Do you know? She may just be trying to get a husband because the society will give her more respect, more honor if she has a husband. You realize that, right? It
Yes,
may
of
be
course.
that she just wants a father figure for her children. It may be that she just wants a home, she may just want to bear
Yeah.
Mrs. So if as a man, and the analogy I gave was, I live in Canada. If I lived in Canada and I brought over someone here, I have to be conscious of the fact that the person may be wanting to use me to get documents. So where is the responsibility? If we don't talk about that, we won't remind people that they also need to be looking out for what is happening in that relationship. Is this woman really here for me? You have that responsibility as a man. And I'm not saying it
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I want to blame men. I'm saying it because I want us to be more conscious. Because if we don't do that, we end up marrying the person who is just there to use us, right?
Yeah, also, I'm gonna say something to you. You see, sometime ago we had some kind of conversation. I told you about witchcraft, right?
Okay.
Witchcraft is about manipulation.
Yes.
When someone is desperately in need, the person can manipulate himself or herself through someone to achieve whatever thing they want to achieve. That's where my point is. Now when someone is a single mother, there's this high level of insecurity that comes with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they see a prone person, who probably is just a good guy who just wants to, have some sense of responsibility, have some sense of love towards some other person that he didn't give birth to,
Yeah. Yeah.
then you start seeing the same woman who is pretending, who is saying, oh, I need love. And then the person comes to manipulating and then do some toxic things around him.
Do you know the answer to
And then
that?
you begin to wonder.
You know the answer
You begin
to
to
that?
wonder, what the hell is this?
Do you know the answer to that? Shaya already answered it. Shaya said, we need to be aware that a lot of us may be wounded. So as a full-grown adult, when you come across somebody who has been through something, you need to remember they may not be healthy. It is because the onus is on us to take care of ourselves. We no longer have our parents to take care of us as adults. So we will not survive if we keep on giving the responsibility to that person. You want the person who is coming to use you to be responsible for taking care of you. They can't. We have to be responsible for ourselves and we cannot, even this morning I made a post on YouTube. I said, your kindness may just be, you need wisdom in being kind. You may be too empathic. Your empathy may be foolishness because you may be enabling the wrong person. You need wisdom. Wisdom is profitable to direct. You cannot be kind and be foolish with your kindness.
Now, you see, I have a different view. Yeah, I think as much as you're making a lot of sense, but I have a different view to that. When somebody becomes more spiritual in this planet, it's a fool.
What?
It becomes a fool.
No.
In the eyes of common man. No, hold on, I'll tell you. A spiritual person.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't get that. When somebody becomes spiritual, what happens?
In a way, right? Yeah.
A spiritual person who gives love is selfless.
Yes,
Okay?
but not foolish.
And yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. It's foolish to the person who is manipulating him, who thinks he's manipulating him, but it's not about the manipulation. No. The person is
Tony,
handling
what
this
would you say
differently.
about that? What would you say?
No, I didn't hear what he said. He said when somebody becomes spiritual,
When you become
something.
spiritual, because when you become spiritual,
You become
you are loving.
selfless.
You are loving and you're
Yes,
selfless,
yes, you
right?
become selfless.
So
And we cannot be this.
Okay.
You hear me?
yeah.
We're not be talking about love and be self-centered. Love is selfless.
I
So
totally
we have to
agree.
get
I totally
we have to
agree.
get
Yeah.
this thing. We have to get the basic thing in this whole thing. If you are telling me that you love me and then there's a reason why you love me, then you don't love me.
I agree with you.
Love has no reason and has no season. That's the reality. So
I agree with you. Yeah. I agree with you, but they can exist side by side. Love and wisdom can exist side by side because you cannot even love another person without loving yourself.
yes,
You know that. And it's not that kind of
where
selfish love. No.
yes, where I'm coming from is this. A lot of songs have been sung about love. But the people who are singing these songs about love don't even understand what love is. Love is a spiritual thing. Love is not a feeling. It's a being. When you attach love to emotions, then you have lost it. Love has got nothing to do with emotions and feelings.
I'll leave it to both
Emotions and
of you.
feelings are fleeting.
Ooh.
Emotions are fleeting.
Uh, it,
Feelings
it's
are
it's
fleeting.
it's not as black and white as you put it. There are lots of gray areas. You can talk about love. In my opinion, you can't talk about love and not talk about emotions. And then when you say, I think I understand where you're coming from when you say love is selfless. You love people for no reason. But then again, you can't have that kind of romantic love for just everybody. There has to be certain things about those people. Maybe their physical appearance, their kindness, their worldview. There have to be concrete things that you can also hold on to that makes that love strong.
Sorry,
Otherwise, if we were to go by love being selfless, it would mean that you should be able to have the same
For
love that you have for
everyone.
one woman for all the women that there are in the world. There has to be side by side that pure love. There also has to be some tangible things that you can hold on to. And it's important to look for those tangible things. Those tangible things are the things that you call the green flags, the red flags, right? Because the mistakes that people make is that they just go in all emotions without looking at those things that can be
And it's
deal
not
breakers
selfish. It's not
for
selfish.
them. And then we go in, and along the way we now realize that, oh, I and this person don't align on this level. We don't see things the same way. This person is dirty. This person is this person is that. Because things that we should have um, looked at from the start, we did not consider those things, right? So I see where you're coming from with love being pure and selfless, but it also has to be matched with practical things as well. Otherwise, it will be a commonplace thing. And love should not be just, especially romantic love, because there are different kinds of love, right? Romantic love between um, adults, whether same sex or whatever it is, it has to also have that element of practicality to it, in addition to
Yeah.
emotions.
In addition to
That's
this,
what I think about that. Yes.
sir,
Uh,
may I say that if I love someone and I find out that the person is not loving me back, right? Not reciprocating, it does not stop me from continuing to love that person. But I just need to understand that I cannot be in a relationship with that person. That is when you know that it is really love. It is really love because it doesn't depend on are they loving me back. It does
exactly.
back.
not. You know,
Doesn't depend on
yes. But then it does not mean that I have to put myself at risk. Then that is when we talk about foolishness. It is, there's no other word to use. So now that we
Mm.
are grown, when we were children, when we were kids, we thought like kids. Now that we are grown, you have to understand that if you go out there where the lion is going to pounce on you and eat you. You cannot say because of love, for the sake of love, I did it. Love and wisdom and foolishness are three things that we need to consider and balance. Foolishness does not have to go along with love. In fact, if you carry foolishness into it, you don't even love that person. You don't. It is something else. I don't know what we're going to call that thing. Because the person will even see it and you can't have a balanced relationship. So what it means that is that that person still needs to mature in mind, right? He didn't see himself. So that's what it would mean. Um See, the thing about love, having a relationship is that there's a mindset to go in with it, and that is what a lot of us did not know or do not know. There is a mindset. You don't just throw yourself into it. Honestly, the same way that people go to study medicine before becoming doctors, it is the same way. Really, there are things to know before getting into a relationship.
Okay,
Let's put it that way.
Uzo. Uzo, I think I want to steer us back to the conversation and where we started from, looking at the Lande and Dara situation. And what you said really also matters, because for a person going into into a relationship with another person, you should know who you are you are getting involved with, and it goes both ways. It's not just for the man to consider, the woman also has to consider. We can say that, I mean, all of the things that Shaya was saying before, that people have said about the woman, based on patterns, she is like this, right? It's the duty of the
Yeah,
man to do his due diligence about a person before committing, to go into a relationship with them. I know there's a place for manipulation in all of this, because both men and women can act as who they are not until they get what they want, right? I know that this can happen, but let it be that on the part of the people coming together, you have done your part in trying to see that this person I want to get into a committed relationship with, their values and mine, do they align? In terms of our appetite, sex is a very important part of marriage. If, as a woman, Dara, let's assume that what they are painting her to be is what she is, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with a woman having a voracious sexual appetite. But look for a man that has the same kind of appetite, so that you can be satisfied in that marriage. All I'm trying to say is, on every side, there is a responsibility that is implied, on the side of the man, on the side of the woman, and then on what drives. I'm saying this as my, you know, kind of last words. I would give everybody a chance to say their last words, because we have just about 8 minutes to wrap up the conversation. On what drives people to look outside of their marriage to seek thrills, and this is for men as it is for women. I think one of the biggest problems is that when people get married, they become complacent. The men that were chasing you and wooing you before, after you become their wife, they stop doing that in many of the cases. The women too, that seem to be, all loving, and they looked good and all of that, then they married, they start to tie wrapper up and down and all of those things. So for both sides, we need to keep the flames of passion going. We need to continue to woo our partners. Romance shouldn't die. Romance should continue
so we
throughout
have no one to
the
blame.
life the life part of the marriage. It should continue. The men should continue to show affection to the women, help them out. A woman will not be interested in sex with you if, as a man, one, you are stressing her. The woman is there, she's doing all of the taking care of the children, she's doing all of the cooking, she's doing all of those things, and then you come and you want her to just open her legs and have sex with it. No, she would not be in the position, in the right frame of mind to do that. So A man has to support his wife, show her love in the same way that a woman also has to support a man. One of the reasons many men go outside is they say the women give them stress, like always nagging, always this, always that, right? And they seek succor from somebody who would not stress them outside. So there are responsibilities for both parts, and those responsibilities life lasts throughout the lifespan of a relation. It should never stop at any point. We should continue. We should never take our partners for granted. We should continue to
Because
work
no one
at
is
the
teaching
marriages.
that, because
That is the way to keep the flames of passion burning. Yes, Uzo. Before Shaya, no, Shaya hasn't spoken for a while. Shaya, we're rounding up in like 6 minutes. In a nutshell, um, in order for people to build healthy relationships that are um, respectful, mutually respectful. Final words. What are the important ingredients that you think people should look out for to build healthy, long lasting, mutually beneficial, or mutually fulfilling relationships? Final words as to what people can do. Oh, he can't hear. Uzo, let me pass the question to you.
oh
Shaya
dear.
can't hear.
Well, okay.
What people can do to build um, relationships that are enduring and mutually satisfying.
Can I say something, please?
Yes.
In few words, because we're about to wrap up this.
I'll say one basic thing.
Yeah.
Humanity needs spirituality. That's the only way we can solve this. Once we become self-reliant spiritually, these things, because of these problems, you know,
Can
when
you?
we become selfish, when we become egocentric, when people begin to think about me, I have to do me, I have to satisfy me, that's where the problem. That's what is going to bring in all sorts of conflicts. Because if the next person is selfish and you are selfish, it's going to be a conflict of interest. Okay? So, the only solution to this problem is for people to get spiritual. I keep saying it, self-awareness and awakening spirit. Once that happens, we begin to see the creator in the next person. When you see God in the next person, that's why in Sanskrit it's named Namaste. Namaste means the God in me salutes God. When I begin to see you as an embodiment of God, an embodiment of love, I won't treat you bad. I won't be selfish. That is the only solution to this problem. No matter how you want to look at it, no matter how tactical or strategic you can be, the human being will always be the human being controlled by different forces you don't understand. Okay? So, let's get this thing straight. Man is designed to be spiritual. And when man doesn't tend towards being spiritual, that's where the problem
Yeah.
becomes selfish, we become
Good point.
we begin to look at ways of satisfying our flesh. Our flesh. And when you want to satisfy your flesh, that's where selfishness comes. Whether you like it or not, some level of selfishness. Spirituality is nothing more. Thank you very much.
Okay,
Thank you. Thank you
thank
very
you,
much.
Uzo. Final words from you, Uzo, before we close.
I would say that one of the biggest ingredients in order to actually have a relationship that works for you is to love that person and look out for that, for what is good for that person. Because it is when you're doing that you actually see a person who is not even in alignment with you and who is not interested in your interests. Because if you're with that person, do we understand what selfishness is? Because if I feel like I love this person, all of my focus, what most human beings do, what most of us do, all of my focus is I want the person for myself. Even when the person is showing that they are not interested in me, I don't care about that. I just want them for me.
Possession.
So I'm insisting on having
Possession.
them for myself, which already shows that I don't love that person because I'm not interested in what that person is interested in. I need to set them free to go and do what makes them happy. That is how we cleave onto these people and we hold them onto ourselves and they begin to hurt us. So if you really love that person, then you will get that love. If you really love that person, you will get the love from the right person. You won't be in the wrong place to start with. So it also goes back
Okay.
to him what he said, don't be selfish, right? Don't think about yourself. It's that person you're thinking about. And in thinking of that person, you will be able to see well for yourself. Is what
All right. So there's a lot, like I said, earlier, there are different layers to this topic, and one session is really not enough to dissect, all of the aspects. But I think we covered quite some ground today. These conversations are never exhaustive. They are continuous conversations that would have on different platforms, even offline. For everybody that joined, our caller, and all of the people that left messages, Uloma, Family Health, Faith Studios, who else is there? Healthy Seep. Thank you to everyone for your comments. We see your comments. Thank you for being here. The conversations will continue, as I said, on other platforms. Until the next time when we come to discuss another topic, stay well, everyone.
before that, Tony, thank you so much for your balanced view. And Shaya is not here for me to say thank you. Thank you, guys, because what you've done is you've brought out things that can help everybody, not just being gender biased, which is what is really hurting us. Because when we keep on promoting against the other gender, we're supposed to be divide and rule is actually a real thing. It's a real thing. And the more we promote bias against the other gender, the more troubles we have, instead of seeing ourselves as people who are supposed to work together and fit well together. So thank you guys.
My pleasure. All right. Good night, everyone, or
Good
whatever
night.
part of the day it is where you are.
Right. Thank you. Okay.